about him for a second. He's already on a panel, which he's, obviously showing that he's the right person to speak for the job. But to close out, and his topic, again, recruiting to win, the challenge to grow your business, he was described as like one of the most coachable people they've ever met. So, again, when I'm introducing somebody, are you paying attention to how we introduce people going, am I really that coachable? This guy is coachable. He's big on the crusade, doing what's right. He has a huge, huge desire to win for his family, which is why he's winning. Let me introduce to the stage Dante. He's big on the crusade, doing what's right. He has a huge, huge desire to win for his family, which is why he's winning. Let me introduce to the stage Dante.
I'm Prost. Okay, so my topic is recruit to win. Okay, so most of the time I'm the one speaking, but I just want to recognize Chrysalie for helping me build this business. Because without Chrysalie, she's like the hunter in our business. She had been looking to people, and she's really like my secret weapon building this business. Okay, she's good in looking at people, whether they are good or not in the business. And I'm the farmer who kind of like had the patience to explain things, all the things about recruiting and the crusade, sharing our vision. And I think it's really great having her as my lifetime partner in the business. So I used to be a tile cutter, can you imagine? 27,000 a year. So far, Primerica paid us close to 2.7 million and around 5,400 in equities, right? And I'm really thankful to Alex because he's the guy who bring me into the business, and he basically showed me to make an impact on our community. Okay? And every time I do an appointment, I always share my personal story about having the wrong kind of life insurance. 100,000 to 600,000, from 150 a month to like $82 a month, and kind of like save that difference. And he said to me, "You're gonna be a good impact to your community if you get licensed and do the training," right? So I'm going to go to my recruiting topic. So if you have a choice, which one would you choose? 100% of your income coming from you, or having 100 people and even just 1%, you're going to have that income. So if you have a choice, which one you pick? Yeah. So one of the conversation I talk to people is, do you want one source of income or multiple sources of income? So people will say multiple sources of income. So what do you have now? Right? So most people, this is what they're looking for, right? They want more time, more money, and more freedom. Imagine a tile cutter. So I always relate their situation to my situation. Okay? And once you tell your story, it's magic because they can relate to your story, correct? Right? So our mission is to help families earn more income. Alex teach me how to do it, right? Become properly protected, debt-free and financially independent. So 6 months after I joined the business, I got licensed, and at the same time I was full-time. Why? Because I did the field training, and I love the crusade, and it becomes my personal mission to help families achieve this, right? So, I don't know if you get this, but Primerica is a distribution company. So you're like the Amazon of your company, right? So either you get it or not. The only way to build distribution is through what? Recruiting and licensing. Okay, you need to have a vision of opening multiple sources of income. So most Primerica and RBPs, you could see the dots, probably you are in that office, correct? But how many offices you want to open? Right? Right now, I know, we kind of like restarting the business like B-Boy, right? After the pandemic, pretty much everything is collapsing, right? But you know what I see? When I started this business, I'm just only one, and we were able to build people. We promoted some RVPs, right? But we cannot control all their decisions. But you know what? When I started this, the reason why I joined is because I want to make an impact. Not only to my community, but to my family. So recruiting is the answer to all of your problems. So whatever problems you have right now, it can be solved through recruiting, right? Either finding clients. So what you need to do? Find recruits. Who's gonna be train those recruits? If it's direct to you, you are. So now, all the teachings that you learned today, this morning, all they shared, right? Use those conversations to recruit more people. If you don't have a stable income, what you need to do is recruit more people, right? Do you want a business that makes money without you? Everybody wants, right? All businesses need new people. Regardless of what business, whether it's McDonald's, Tim Hortons, you need more people if you want to grow your business, correct? So same thing in our business. So this is why people don't recruit. Fear of rejection. Right? You need to feel good how blessed we are that we are part of Primerica. You need to feel good about that. That to me, when Alex shared this business, it's a blessing. And every time I had conversation, I had the opportunity to plant seeds. And that seeds, either it grows or not. So what are you talking to the people if you're sharing the opportunity? You should be thinking you are sharing a gift to those people. Once you have that, you will overcome that fear of rejections. Okay? They think it's cheap and unprofessional to recruit people. But think about it. Even church, they recruit, correct? Everybody recruits. So you never feel bad about talking about recruiting into the business. I know you don't want to be tagged like, are we a pyramid? Are we a networking, right? And some people, the negative connotation for that is what? They think that we're a pyramid. You're a networking company, right? So about ego? All of us has ego, right? All of us has pride. But you can eliminate that if you are thinking Primerica is a blessing to you and you are sharing a blessing, you are sharing a gift. You can eliminate all those. It's a lot of work. Recruiting, imagine throughout our career, we recruited 400 personally. Right? We have 47 licenses in our hierarchy right now. And it's a lot of work. Right? But would that stop me? No. Like I said, I started just me. Right? And 3 out of 10, when you are doing a conversation, they will be interested in the business. 3 out of 10. So it's a matter of how many appointments you're gonna do. Okay? The best thing is when we started this business, I don't have a market because I'm just 8 months in Canada. Okay? I met Chris only after a year. And it's ingrained to me about the beauty about recruiting and finding new people, develop them as friends, and at the same time, you work with them. If they join the business, you sell them the vision about achieving their goals and dreams, right? So you need to go through that to get the stats. And this is exciting. You just need to find 7 to 10 key people. 7 to 10 key people. And look at the market that we have. 41 million. And you just need to find 7 to 10 key people. 7 souls that wants to build a business, that wants to change their life. Right? So you have your own HR department. So in our business, we don't pay only people. We don't pay people to hire. Okay? We have our own human resources. So which means we are the one carrying and looking for people. We do the corporate headhunters do without the high cost of doing it. So your own team, your own army, you can do one army. And you cannot easily get killed, correct? So develop a builder's mindset. So I think a lot of people doing a little bit. So that's why you need to recruit. Because it's like the engine, right? How many pistons do you want to have in your engine? A lot, right? Because sometimes they are up, sometimes they are down. So that's why you need to recruit a lot of people, right? And the law of high numbers, we know that. We know that the magic number for your business, or if you're a pilot or you're on the runway, you need to have at least 10 every single month. And we average around 10 since we joined the business. That's the hierarchy. But the personal, we just average 2 recruits a month since we joined. So you need to accept the fact that 20% of your production came from, 20% of your people, it will give you 80% of your production. And 80% of your people will only give 20%. So you need to accept them where they are, right? And the beauty about having a lot of people in your team is sometimes they are down, sometimes they are up, and that's what happened, right? So you must build a large network of outlets. So that's why we are recruiting and building leaders, so we can open up more locations, right? A large base of multi-product using clients. So product using clients, right? So if you do, you will establish a high and secure income. So think about this. If you're a district leader, or if you have a district leader, okay? John Carlos coaching me about this last night. I really appreciate him. Like we had a dinner last night, and what are you teaching on your training, right? On your teams, right? On Saturday. So I think this is really what we need to do, right? If they have a full-time job, what we do is we need to teach them how to make what they are making in their current job. And this is just an example that if you do a four appointments, and the average now is not 1,000, but I use 1,000. Filipinos like more conservative in terms of the premiums, right? They're curriculum, right? So that's 4,000 times 50%, so approximately around 2,000, right? But can you imagine if you can teach these people how to recruit? Okay? And build 4 that do 2 each. So even though they don't close, they will still make overrides of 2,000 a month. How great would that be? Now, if they're making around 40 to 50,000 a month at their full-time job, if they do their 4 and their team do their 8, so how much this part-timer is making every single month? 4,000. Do you think it's much easier to convince them not to go full-time? Yes. Right? So it's just about like teaching them how to do the numbers, what numbers they need to do, and teach them, right? So So we know all this, right? Then, white. So which one is better? Both. Right? So, one thing I also tell to people when I'm doing the opportunity night is to explain to them the active and passive income. We all know this. We are good in explaining this, right? So the left side and the right side. So most people, what they want to build a business, right? So Alex teach me how to transition, okay, from employee to self-employed to business owner in 3.5 years. Right? 3.5 years. But I went full-time because I see myself, I don't want to be on this side where employee and self-employed, where 95% of the population, they control only 5% of the wealth. Okay? And 95% of the wealth is controlled by 5%. So would you rather be on the left side or on the right side?
Right side is the right
So if I can help you transition from the left side to the right side in 6 months, like I did, will you give a shot for 6 months? Right? So we talk about ownership. Like if you have a job, after working there for 40 years, what do you have? But build a business, imagine if you build a business, like you have 10 Lutz, you have 10 Gerald, you have 10 G's in your business. What would be your income? 20 jobs. And try that, right? So, now if you decide to be in business, which side you want to have? Small business or big business? Big business. Who wants big business? Right? So, this is the beauty about having a business. You are the boss. You control your working hours. You control who works with you. You control your income. You control when you get a raise. You control when you take a vacation. And when you want to return, you get impressive tax advantage. You can pass the business to your loved ones. Right? You are investing your time instead of spending your time. And it's yours. You gotta have ownership. So I just want to show you this because these are some of the popular business models, right? Remax, they're operating in 91 countries. Who they recruit? Brokers. I don't know how many brokers, but a lot of brokers, right? And brokers recruit agents. Okay? How about this? You know this all the time, right? McDonald's? 37,000 stores. And you know how many they recruit? 3,000 franchise owners. They have 1.5 employees. So, your Primerica is the same thing. Correct? So Primerica recruited representative, okay, and eventually become senior vice president. These are the big business owners, right? So 5,000 a month on average. I don't know what's the current now, maybe 6,500, but that's the average before, right? So 5,000 RVPs. I don't know how many SVPs, but that's the way you want to go to SVP, right? So, people don't go into business because of these 5 things. So, you know this, right? You know how to explain this, right? Because we take away all their excuses. Okay? And you need to imagine how good this business is, right? So, these are the things that we provide to people. So, these are the things that I incorporate during our opportunity night, the solutions that we provide, right? So, it's pretty much the same, but what's good about Primerica is you have the pre-Primerica stuff. If you're a regional vice president, you get, every time you promote someone from licensing to district, division, regional to RVP, you get stocks, right? And the good thing is we also have non-financial products, right? I don't know if we still do Vivint, but we have prepaid legal services as well, right? So it's good. So we only had 4% of the 41,000. So you look at this facility. You look at it. How many people we can fit in here? Probably 1,000, right? So this is something that I incorporate when I'm recruiting people as well. So what we are offering to people is the business opportunity. This is not a job, this is a business opportunity. So where they can open outlets, and every recruit could be an outlet, right? And every outlet you have the opportunity, if they sell something, you make an overrides, and there's ownership. When you are sitting down at the kitchen table and you're talking about this, people will gonna lean on the table and they want to listen more. Because their mentality is just employment, right? One source of income. So we're like the Amazon in the financial services industry. Think about it. Every person you bring onto your business, every recruit you bring into your business, it has an opportunity for you to make an overrides. But every time they sell, they make an impact to that family. They get better protection, they have a plan to get out of debt, they have the chance to become financially independent, right? And that's what we do. So, like I said, this becomes my personal mission as well. And again, it's a decision whether you remain on the bottom of this structure or you decide that you're going to find people to promote to regional vice president so you can be senior vice president. And I started like a tile cutter. Can you imagine? Right? So in 2019, I had this 11 million assets under management, and I'm checking last night, and we have 31 million assets under management. We delivered 2.6 million to the orphans and widows, right? And we have 549 million. So it becomes a multi-million business because we have a crusade. And talking about mental toughness, guys, like pretty much like anything you can imagine, it happens to us. Our upline quits, our RVPs quit, and we are still here because we fall in love with the crusade. Did you hear that? Crusaders die hard. Right? So, that was last night. So, okay, I don't want to go through this. You know, this is a conversation we do. Okay? But if people doesn't like you, they don't trust you, they believe that you can take them to what they want to go, I don't think they're going to join you in your business, right? So, character, skills, and your vision, your goals, right? I think that's attract them to join your business. And I'm just so happy, and we are blessed because we decided after the pandemic, these are all the new people we just newly building. We recruited them like maybe after the pandemic, and we have Alfredo, who is in the meeting room. We have MJ, we have Nova. These are new people. They're like babies, but now they are contributing, and that's why you see our numbers is up there, because what we want is we want to build intentionally. We want to promote strong regional vice president, and we need to incorporate all the things that we learn. I believe the future is now, and I challenge everyone to do at least 2 recruits before the end of this month. 2 recruits, just 1 a week. Okay? We have only 1 week, but let's make it 2 weeks. Okay? So recruit 2, then recruit 1 every single week. So next month will be our biggest month because we're gonna use all the things that we learned today. And I promise you, your life will change forever. Thank you so much.